Right then, this is a quick walk around video for a really lovely CRV. This is a 2-litre SR automatic. You can see here 63 plate car. The car's covered just 50,000 miles. Finished in this beautiful passion red, which looks absolutely fantastic, especially in the flesh. The videos and photos never do it justice. Front of the car, lovely and clean. The lights and lenses are clear and intact. No cracks or condensation. Bonnet, very, very clean indeed. There will be a minor stone chip, but you have to look extraordinarily hard to find one. Near side, beautifully smooth in the panels, no obvious indentations there at all. Near side front alloy, the one that generally takes all of the bashing. It's got some minor marks, but they are minor indeed. Panels, very, very clean indeed. Near side rear alloy, pretty much unblemished there. And around the back of the car, and very clean and tidy. Apologise, it's a lovely day, but videos are not great in the sunshine, but I'm trying to do the best I can with them. Offside, driver's side, again, can't see any obvious indentations there at all. Shadow out of the way. Rear alloy, offside, very good. A bit of pickling by the valve stem, which is actually quite common on them, but that is pretty minor. And then final alloy, again, in beautiful condition. Externally, the car is in absolutely beautiful condition, has to be said. Coming to the back of the car, cavernous boots, and unlike so many, it's been kept in absolutely beautiful condition. Coming to the back now, beautiful interior, half leather Alcantara. And again, CRVs are normally very heavily used in the back, yet this one has been given hardly any use at all. Worth pointing out, there is a full set of interior mats, proper Honda ones. They're just being cleaned currently, actually. Coming to the front and passenger side, again, lovely and clean. Passenger seat again is in absolutely fantastic condition. Finally coming on driver's side, again, door card very clean. Likewise, footwell areas and driver's seat for a car that's 10 years old is in absolutely fantastic condition. Inside the car now, engine's running through this section so the dashboard can be seen illuminated, and it looks pretty much like new. Just up there, just going to show you reverse parking camera working exactly as it should. Sorry, I have to pause the video every time I do that, but it is in lovely condition in here. Just quickly show you dashboard binnacle, 50,244 miles, and there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all whilst the engine's running. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual, pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2-litre SR automatic. Car is registered HW63DCY and with a mileage of 50,244 recorded. The reason, as always, for all of our videos is very simple. It's to ensure that if anyone's actually online looking at any of our cars in adverts, they get to see the very car in the advert in operation. And the reason we feel it's important is, unfortunately, like so many people, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs or description, but only to get there and find out there's an obvious fault that shows up when you're driving the car. So hence that's why we do it. Also done on these lovely quiet country roads in this absolutely beautiful part of Gloucestershire. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and the hope is then that it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to get through there. He's just unloading so generally it's very quiet around here, but unloading a digger it looks like at the moment, so you have to bear with me. Just to give some feedback to the car, background to the car, been a very well looked after car. We've just serviced the vehicle. It had a MOT prior to coming into us as well. Engine, by the way, starts instantly and settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. And temperature gauge is running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle. The engines are an absolute peach. Honda, I've always said, and I maintain it's absolutely true, they build the best 4-cylinder engines in the world. And there's lots of reasons for it. It's not just, their reputation for reliability is absolutely unmatched, and this is a classic example of that. they're cam chain driven. There's no cam belts to worry about either. But it's also, much more importantly in some ways, a really nice unit to use day in, day out. It's quiet, it's smooth, it's refined. It's just a lovely, lovely engine. So flexible, and it's got a sweet edge to its engine note, which all Hondas have. So it doesn't grate as some engines quite often can. Engine then feeds through into the automatic gearbox. Obviously, gear ratios are chosen quite carefully to extract the best out of the car, both in terms of performance and economy. The gearbox, like the engine, has a reputation for being incredibly tough and reliable over big mileages. Notwithstanding that, you should do all the usual checks on an automatic gearbox if you can. The gear changes on the move should be smooth, to the point of being virtually imperceptible, and they certainly are in this case. Absolutely spot on. But also that when you engage drive or reverse from neutral, there shouldn't be any great clonks or thunks as the gears engage. By the way, the lane isn't normally quite as busy as this, so I'm quite surprised today, but there we go. But yeah, it's absolutely spot on. You do have these paddles here you can change manually. It is actually quite helpful. I always say, the best way to describe it is, an automatic gearbox doesn't have eyes. It doesn't see what you're doing or the road ahead. But it always wants to change up as early as possible to save you fuel. Now, if you're going to overtake something, the last thing you want it to do is change up halfway around that overtake. You leave you kind of floundering. So you can just pull these little tabs back. You go down with the left-hand one, right with the up right-hand side one, and it'll hold it in gear until you've finished your manoeuvre. And I've used it. It's really, really handy. So it comes to the steering chassis. The steering, Honda know this market intimately, by the way, that the CR-V for many years has been the best-selling SUV in the world, because they were way ahead of the game. Only now are other manufacturers latching on to the fact that cars like this, they don't have to drive like trucks, and that's pretty much how they drove, or their competitors did. Honda were the first to sort of make them drive pretty much like a car, and it starts with the steering and the chassis. The steering is nicely weighted, it's positive, it's accurate. It allows the car to literally flow through corners really nicely, without pretending for a second it's sporty, because it isn't. It's not meant to be. What it does is it smoothly allows the transition of change of direction, so as not to upset the passengers in the car. That's its design criteria, and it does a simply brilliant job of it. The steering, by the way, tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to legal limit, actually. Suspension, there's a really horrible bump I'm about to go over any second now. That's it. There's no clonks, there's no rattles, nothing from underneath the car. The whole car feels absolutely as tight as a drum. The chassis, when you go through the corners, as I said, it really flows. There's not a lot of body roll. Only if you're going at sort of ridiculous speeds, really, you're going to sort of get any sort of noticeable body roll through the corners. But it doesn't pitch and dive in like so many of its competitors, and that can create nausea, particularly for rear seat passengers. But the flip side is its ride is beautifully damped, very comfortable indeed, across pretty much all surfaces. Only kind of potholes, imperfections in the road can catch it out, as it would any car, so it's not immune to that. Brakes on the car, just make sure no one's directly behind me. I know they're good, but they're very, very good. What I'm looking for is good initial bites, which it's got quite clearly, but it shouldn't have any kind of pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal, and there are none at all. So in every sense, it's absolutely spot on. Finally, coming inside the car, which, as with pretty much all Hondas, is beautifully bolted together. There's no squeaks, no rattles. You've got a fantastic driving position. So easy to get comfortable in these really comfy seats. But you've got visibility is fantastic. You feel very confident as soon as you get in the car. It's not one of these cars that intimidates in any way. Massive wing mirrors helping you sort of with your lane changes. Dash layout is really nicely done, because it's it's a car you just jump in and drive, unlike so many modern cars where you have to sit down with a manual for about 3 weeks before you can learn to start the damn things. This is the one you just jump in, drive straight away. It's all pretty much so straightforward. Radio, big, simple, easy affair there to use. Down here you've got your heated seats, which work perfectly in the car. Climate control systems, you can have different temperatures side to side because it's dual zone as they call it. That pumps out lovely cold air, by the way. I've got it now, it's just lovely, chilled. All the switch gear has that beautiful quality of actuation that Honda give you. It's just these little details that Honda do so well. Likewise, the dash binnacle in front is simple, legible, beautifully presented as they always do. And then you've got this lovely leather-bound steering, which is pretty small in diameter compared to, again, a lot of its competitors with these unwieldy great things like trying to navigate a boat rather than a car. Finally, there is a button in here that is absent because they don't have one, and that's for the four-wheel drive system, because it is basically, it runs in two-wheel drive pretty much the whole time, so front-wheel drive. Because Honda worked out straight away that the vast majority of their customers would be doing what I'm doing right now, which is driving along where you just don't need four-wheel drive on. I'm not quite sure she's going quite so slowly. So what it does is very clever. If I was to put my foot down hard now on, let's say, a bit of snow, ice or mud, front wheels would start to lose grip, but before you could react via the traction control system, it brings in the rear wheels automatically to give you four-wheel drive, and it is seamless and brilliant in the way it does it. Because we towed a caravan with ours, or we do tow a caravan with ours, and we've never come close to getting stuck with it. The advantages of the system, not running the whole time, are patently obvious. You're going to use less fuel, you're going to get through your tyres less quickly, and you're going to put far less mechanical stress through the car. I've been selling CRVs for nearly 3 decades now, and I can't remember ever put a spanner on the four-wheel drive system of one. That's how robust they are, and it comes from lack of use, basically. This drives sensationally. It drives absolutely perfectly. Can't fault it in any way. As always, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate. Do give us a call.